Are you looking for the best squirrel-proof bird? In this video we will look at some of the 7 best squirrel-proof bird on the market. Before we get started with our video, we have included links in the description. So make sure you check those out to see which one is in your budget range. Number 1. Brome Squirrel Buster Plus. The Brome Squirrel Buster Plus squirrel-proof bird feeder is one of the most versatile bird feeders on the market, making it our best overall pick. This feeder has weight-activated perches that close the seed openings when a heavier pest, like a squirrel or crow, tries to land on it. In addition to having 6 perches around the bottom of this feeder, it also comes with a cardinal ring, which is designed to make feeding easier since they cannot turn their heads as easily as other birds. We also love that you can buy a baffle ring that further deters squirrels if you do plan to use this feeder on a pole. The other minor complaint is that this squirrel-resistant bird feeder is not designed for all birds, such as woodpeckers and nuthatches, that prefer to cling while they eat. However, we still love the thoughtful design of this feeder and think it will easily attract a variety of songbirds to your yard. Type, tube dimensions, 6x6x 23 inches weight, 2.1 pounds feed capacity, 5.1 pounds number of ports, 6. Number 2. Best overall, runner-up. Although almost all of the bird feeders in our list can be hung on a tree or hook, we wanted to highlight this particular design because it has a locking top, which prevents feed from coming out if it is knocked down. We tested this bird feeder at home and witnessed lots of bird activity, as well as a squirrel attempting to reach the bird feeder, without success. The larger perches also ensure a variety of birds come to enjoy the feeder. The flip-down design means that their perches can also be pushed up, which was initially a concern because that would limit a bird's ability to access seeds. However, the perches have all remained in place in our weeks of usage. No matter your concern weather-related or pest-related, this bird feeder is a great, extra durable option to keep your feed in the tube and your feathered friends happy. Type, tube dimensions, 9x9x 17.5 inches weight, 2.2 pounds feed capacity, 4 pounds number of ports, 4. Number 3. Best budget. If your yard doesn't typically attract many birds or you've never owned a bird feeder, we recommend the Squirrel Buster Mini Squirrel-Proof Feeder. We tested this bird feeder in our New York home and were pleasantly impressed with its durability, even in the face of strong winds and rain. Similar to our overall best pick, this feeder also has weight-activated perches that close the ports when a heavy pest lands on them. The wire mesh grid is much smaller than other feeder designs, so squirrel paws should be too large to grab the seeds. We did notice that bird seed occasionally falls to the ground, which could entice squirrels, however, we didn't see any. The metal construction also ensures this squirrel-resistant feeder lasts several seasons if you properly wash it and ensure the feed doesn't become overly saturated from rain or winter weather. You're getting a secure feeder that will attract various birds while keeping furry wildlife away. Type, tube dimensions, 4.13x 4.13x 12.38 inches weight, 1 pound feed capacity, 0.98 pounds number of ports, 4. Number 4. Best motorized. The Droll Yankees Yankee Flipper is one of the most effective squirrel-proof bird feeders we tested. Its standout feature: a weight-activated, motorized perch spins when a squirrel tries to land, gently throwing it off. We found it not only functional but also surprisingly entertaining to watch. Most squirrels gave up quickly, while birds continued to feed undisturbed. We loved how simple it was to set up right out of the box. Charging the motor was easy. An overnight charge, about 14 hours, brought it back to full strength when needed. We also liked that the feeder comes with a charger and includes a 1-year warranty for the motor and a lifetime warranty for the feeder body. The only feature we'd improve is the lid. While the flip-top design made refilling quick, we wished it locked more securely to prevent spills if the feeder were knocked out of place. Still, this feeder stood out for its effective squirrel resistance, durable construction, and user-friendly design. Type, tube dimensions, 8.25x 8.25x 29.5 inches weight, 5 pounds feed capacity, 5 pounds number of ports, 4. Number 5. Best for small birds. After testing this bird feeder at home, we found that it lives up to all the expectations it sets as a squirrel-proof feeder. We love its attractive design, which is a step above the other, more utilitarian picks on our list. It's built with petite perches to attract small birds. Thanks to the wire mesh surrounding the feed tube, it is also ideal for perching and clinging birds. When a squirrel lands on this feeder, its weight pulls the entire wire grid down, and the leaves cover the feed ports, making the seeds inside inaccessible. We did notice that the mesh grid and large leaves make it harder to monitor this feeder's seed levels from a distance, but this isn't a major drawback. A funnel is included, so we had no issues refilling this feeder. Type, tube dimensions, 5.5 x 5.5 x 24 inches weight, 2.5 pounds feed capacity, 3.4 pounds number of ports, 6. Number 6. Best squirrel-proof bird feeder pole. Rather than replacing your entire set of bird houses and feeders, you could always try a pole that keeps the squirrels away. This pole from Squirrel Stopper has room for 8 separate feeders, or a combination of feeders, bird houses, wind chimes, flower baskets, or other pieces of decor. The spring-loaded baffle moves up and down and sways side to side when squirrels land on it or climb on it, so they really aren't a match against the erratic motion. The lower section of this squirrel-resistant feeding station comes with an auger to drive it into the ground before screwing on the pole extensions. Thankfully, it's constructed from alloy steel and has a powder-coated finish for extra durability. We also love that the 2-inch base pole is relatively lightweight, so it's easy to set up alone, but we do wonder if it will stay upright during heavy winds or a major rainstorm. Type, feeding station dimensions, 2 1-inch arms, 96 inches tall weight, 11 pounds feeder capacity, 8 feeders number of ports, not applicable. Number 7. Best suet feeder. A suet feeder can be especially useful for birds in the winter because suet is a hardened cake made from a mixture of fat and seed, serving as a quick source of energy for particularly active birds. This bird feeder allows you to place 2 cakes in the cages and you won't have to worry about squirrels reaching them. Unlike a feeder with ports, this design doesn't limit the number of birds that can access the cakes at once thanks to the grid design. Plus, it's easy to monitor how much of the suet is left from a window in your home. The cover ensures the cakes stay dry during winter weather, but the drainage holes on the bottom tray are slightly small, so it might be best to drill large ones if you live in an especially wet area. Even though it does feel a bit rickety, we're still using it and still like it. We've noticed it's probably not as popular with birds as our non-squirrel-proof one because it's harder for them to get at the food, but it does work to keep squirrels away, so the food lasts a lot longer. Type, suet cage material, metal dimensions, 9.8 x 9.8 x 7.8 inches weight, 2.33 pounds feed capacity, 2 suet cakes number of ports, not applicable.